Over the next week, we're at Wilson's Prom National Park. We're camping, we're fishing, and we're seeing lots of wildlife. Come along for the ride. Good morning, everybody. We've just come down to the beach for sunrise, so we're going to walk along the shore until the sun pops up. Okay, everybody. Today, I'm going to be taste testing the Hunger Buster Australian MRE. First things first, breakfast. So just gonna boil some water. Cover that. And the tea for Chloe. Pour this. Nice. Seems like a good amount. I'm just going to do creamer and some water. And I'll add a little sweetened condensed milk. Time to try the coffee. Not bad. You can definitely taste the instant powderiness of it. I'm also going to have a jam sandwich biscuit. Nice. All right, we are all cleaned up here. When we were booking the site, they actually gave us a number of warnings to not leave food in the tent because the wombats can chew a hole through your tent to get to the food. Now we're going to head to the visitor center and have a look at what's around, get a map. There's some more cabins. These ones are massive. Looks like a big communal space and a bunch of rooms in there. All right, folks, we are headed to Squeaky Beach. We're gonna do a little bit of walking, chilling at the beach, and fishing. It is time. All right, here is Squeaky Beach entrance. Should be pretty cool. We're getting close. Ooh. Trying to scout a good spot. It looks like over on this right side might be the most accessible, as there's pretty tall cliffs over on this side, so I'm not sure how I'd go getting there. I reckon I could get up and wow, look at this rock pool here. That is so blue. Holy moly. All right, we're gonna walk up these rocks, see if we can find a good spot over the other side or down further. There's a little dirt path here. I hope it goes where we want to go. Whoa. Whew. Wow. This is crazy. A little secret beach. That's cool. So I think I'll try and get to those rocks over there. Secret pathway to the hidden beach down here. We're down off the rocks onto the beach now. This is such a cool little beach. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Holy moly. Wow. Well, look at this view. The whole beach. And then Squeaky Beach over there. There's Chloe down on the sand. All right, everybody, it is time. I've got half a pilchard on each hook here on my paternoster rig, and we're gonna throw it out and see what we can catch. Oh, we got something. We got something. Let's take it down here. No. Oh, just slipped off. Oh man. That's so frustrating. That was a big fish. That would have been like 40, 50 centimeters. Well, that was a pretty big fish, and I only caught it right there. So I'm gonna keep just keeping my bait nice and close because I think there might be some big fish hiding under these rocks here. All right, let's give this a go. Just throw my bait out nice and close. Nope. I can see little fish biting it. So hopefully that entices a bigger fish to come in and grab the bait. I'm gonna try and throw it just out here. Go onto this dry rock here. There we go. Well, folks, I think that was an Australian salmon, but he was tiny. Couldn't have been more than 20 centimeters, so far too small for us to keep. Oh, no. It come off. All right, let's try that again. I wonder. Oh. What is that? All right, everybody. That is a wrasse, apparently. And apparently, they're not very good eating. So I'll throw them back in. I think it's time for us to pack it up. Tide's coming in. Our entry path is full of water. We made it. Oh. Yeah. Doesn't look as steep on the GoPro. All right, we've just come up onto the path here that overlooks the beaches. So we're gonna follow this. All right, folks. We are wrapped up here at the beach. We're gonna head to a lookout or back to camp, not sure yet, and then have some lunch. We've come to Norman Lookout for lunch. Let's have a look. Nice. Look at that. Pull out our main meal. Here we go. Chili con carne. Unopened meal pouch into sleeve. Okay. I guess I'm just trying to get this thing wet. Oh, it's getting hot. Look, it's all steaming. In the meantime, we're going to try some of these snacks. We've got a beef steak bar. It looks like salami in stick form. Not too dry or chewy. Look at that. There we go. Hey, that's pretty good. Tastes like jam. Looks like chili. Not bad. Tastes like something you'd get out of a can. We just wrapped up lunch here at the lookout. We are headed to the wildlife walk to see if there's any wildlife out and about, and then we'll head back to camp. Here we are, folks. Just a small entrance here to start the walk. That was a cool walk. We saw lots of wildlife. Now it's time to head back to camp. All right. Hey, the tent's still here. That's good. But I think we might head down to the beach and watch the sunset. All right, we're headed down to the beach. Got our camp chairs. Wow, the water's so blue. And it's come up so much. We came here for sunrise this morning and it was way back towards the rocks there. Back to camp, everybody. Well, the weather's been pretty good for us so far. It's been a little bit cloudy this afternoon and it rained a little bit last night when we got in, but today's been mostly sunny, which has been great. We are gonna make some pasta for dinner. Alright, we're gonna cook up our pumpkin soup and instant mashed potato. And we're gonna add our pumpkin soup mix. It looks okay. I kind of like it. Let's try the soup. I think it's got croutons in it. Tastes weird. It's very instant powder flavor. The mashed potato was pretty good. The soup, not so much. Okay, our very last product in the MRE is this hot chocolate, which we're gonna try out. Pretty good. That was pretty good. And that was the very last piece of the MRE. And it was pretty good. For a 24-hour ration pack, it didn't quite have the calories that I was hoping for, but it was good. Now we're gonna pack up and head to bed. Good morning, everybody. It's kind of cold this morning, so it's time for some coffee. Pancake time. All right, this is burning. Stable table. Well, it started pouring down, so we had to quickly pack up our tent as we've got to move sites. So that's all packed away. All right, everybody, we just pulled up to our site, but it's still sprinkling a bit, so we might wait to see if the rain stops to set up our tent. But we're going to walk around and explore this side of the campsite. Right, we walked a little bit just from the campsite, and we're going to check out the second bay access here onto the beach. Alright, time to set our tent up, and then I think we're going to go on a short hike. Okay, well, we set up our tent and we kind of canned the idea of hiking for the moment because it's quite grey and rainy. So we're just going to go and charge some batteries and things and hang out for a bit. We're walking past the river here towards a amenities block so we can charge some stuff. Haven't been to this part yet, which is nice. Nice footbridge there.
Again.
We were hanging out at the amenities block there, charging some things and playing Uno for just over an hour. And now we're heading back to camp. Lunchtime. Huh? Right, everybody, we had a light lunch and we are headed back to the river to do some fishing and some walking. We're gonna check it out. About to go down to the river, and there's some fishing platforms that I want to go check out, fish from. Wilson's Prom is an awesome campground. It's just over 3 hours from Melbourne, and it's been fantastic. The weather's been on and off for us. Apparently during summer it's completely booked out here, and there's about 500 campsites, so it gets really busy. Fishing platforms. 180 meters. Some nice boardwalks here to protect the wetlands. Makes walking through the forest here easy. And here's the fishing platforms. It's freezing cold and raining. I don't want to stand here and fish, so we're just going to keep walking. Hopefully the rain dies down. Well, at least the scenery is nice. The weather's on and off. It's not very good. Alright, no luck in the fishing department. We are headed back to drop off my fishing gear, and then we're going to come back out and do a bit of a hike now that it's cleared up a little bit. Alright everybody, I dropped my fishing gear off at the campsite, so now it's time to head over the river and check out these hiking trails. I'm not sure if we'll do a whole walk today, but we're going to start walking this way, see how far we get. Well, this walk is turning out to be easier than we thought, so I think we'll make it all the way to Pillar Point. So check out the view from there and then head back to camp for dinner. Either side of us the ocean, so we must be on top of the ridge line here. Ooh. What is that? Squeaky Beach. Nice. Alright, I think this is the lookout. Oh, slippery. That was an awesome lookout. I think there's some rain coming in over the ocean, so we better make some tracks. Just pulled off the trailer and look at the sunset. Alright, hustle time. It's getting real dark, real fast. Well, we're keeping it simple for dinner, folks. We're having rice and eggs. Nice and warm. Alright everybody, dinner was good, but we're all packed away and we're gonna have a shower and then hop into bed because it's cold. Good morning everybody. There's some cold breeze about, so I think it's time for some coffee. Oh, it's nice and warm. Egg breakfast burger here. No sauce or anything, unfortunately, but all right, folks, we're all packed up here at camp. I think it's time for us to head out and try and find a hike to do. We are at Mount Oberon and we're going to do the Telegraph Saddle Track. Right, we're going to head up to the Mount Oberon summit, which should take just over an hour. Here we are. So close. All the phone towers here, and then our hike continues through there. Woo! Alright, that was epic at the top there, but it's time for us to head back down. I think we're going to do some fishing today. It's time for us to head back to camp, pick up some bait, have a quick lunch, and then head out onto the rocks to go fishing. Alright folks, we picked up some bait and an ice cream, even though it's freezing cold. So we're going to go fishing after we have some lunch. So I've rigged up my fishing rod, we've got the bait, had some lunch. It is time to hit the beach and head to our fishing spot. Well, the weather has greatly improved, which I'm very grateful for. We've even got some blue sky here. All right. So the tide comes all the way up onto these rocks. So there's about 3 meters of tide change in this beach here, which is crazy. Oh, ooh-wee. This is crazy. It's so blue. We're almost to a point that I think might be a good spot. So I think this might be our first spot to set up. It looks pretty nice at the moment. Waves aren't too crazy. This whole area is dry. I've baited up my rig here and we are going to try our luck. I've only used squid once or twice before, but I now like it as opposed to pilchards, as it doesn't fall off as well, so it stays on the hook quite well. Well, absolutely no luck in this spot. I'm gonna go just over there for like 5 minutes because the tide's coming in. Throw a couple casts out that way and amongst the rocks there maybe. Yeah. There's this massive gutter between the rocks here. I wonder if that might be a good spot to cast out. Oh, that's a big bite. Might be something. Got squid ink all over my fingers. Come on, something. No luck yet, so we're gonna move spots. Not even a bite. Once again, not even a bite. So we're gonna move back towards the beach a bit. I just lost my rig. I got snagged up. My batteries are running out. I caught one wrasse, but I'm not even sure if I got that on film before my battery died. And now it is time to head back to camp. Look at how much the tides come in. I walked along the sand up to here. I walked past this rock on the sand. Alright, we're safe and sound back on the beach. Not far to the campground from here. Here we are. Home sweet home. For dinner we got sausages, bread and vegetables. Well, we were going to use the barbecues, but they're out of gas, so we just got to use our gas cooker. So cooking up some zucchini. Is it? Time to pack it up. We're gonna have a shower at the luxurious camping facilities here, and then we're gonna head to bed. Alright folks, it's only about 9 o'clock, but we are headed to bed. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning everybody. Slept for a while. I had some rain throughout the night and this morning, but I think it's time for some coffee. Yeah. Alright, we are headed out of camp. We've picked up some bait and we are headed to Whiskey Bay to do some fishing and some chillax. Let's head down to the beach. Alright, we just got a short 400-meter walk to the beach, which is pretty nice. It's all level and graveled. Welcome to Whiskey Bay. It's a nice small little bay here. Alright everybody, it's time to head over to these rocks on the right side. As these ones are nowhere near the water yet, the tide will slowly be coming in. I've made it to the rocks here at the point. I don't think I'm going to spend very long here because it looks like if I do, I'll get cut off by the tide coming in. But there's some nice deep rock pools around, so I might try my luck in those. Alright guys, this rock pool looks incredible. I'm just going to throw down some bait, see if there's anything lurking around under these rocks. Oh, we got one. Oh, he popped off. It was a wrasse. I hooked one very briefly and it spooked them because it popped off. So they're not going for it now. So I think I'll just try on the other side of this rock. Try just dropping it down here. See what happens. Right, well I lost my bait. Not sure if it's big fish or small fish just toying with it, but come back to this pool here, so we'll see. I got one. Here we go, folks. Look at that. There's a wrasse. I don't think they're good eating, so we'll put him back. Right, well I might make a move soon, but first I'm going to drop some bait into this pool here. Well, this looks like a wrasse slash parrotfish, and he is 42-ish centimeters, and here they are minimum 25, so we're gonna keep this guy and cook him up. We got one, yes! I've still got a bit of bait left, so I'd like to try for an Australian salmon off the beach here. So we'll give it a shot and use up the rest of our bait. Alright, I've just run out of bait and it's getting kind of late. It's about 5 o'clock. So I'm gonna head back. Maybe we'll have an early dinner and we'll cook up this fish. Wow, that water looks so nice and blue. Nice. Nice and refreshing. Walk. What a nice beach. Nice little creek crossing here. Alright folks, time to head back to camp. Apparently this fish is best eaten steamed or fried, so I've done a mixture of both. We've seared it so the skin is nice and crisp, and then I've covered it with the pan lid to kind of steam itself, and it's looking pretty good. Alright, I'm so full. That was good. Nice crispy fish skin and seasoned well. It was firm, flaky meat. It was nice. We're gonna start packing up now. Maybe get ready for bed because it's gonna get dark soon. Time to do the dishes. Well, we just had a shower and we are gonna play some Uno and wait until it gets a bit later and hopefully see a wombat before we go to bed on our last night. Look, there's a wombat. Hello. Oh. Well, we just went for a walk around camp to find some wombats, and it was awesome to find a whole bunch on our last night here at camp. We're gonna pack it up tomorrow, so I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. We're gonna get ready for the day and then pack up because it is time to head out today. It is time to pack up camp. We just left camp for the last time and we are headed out of Wilson's Promontory, and we're going to stop on the way at the Big Drift sand blow just before we leave back to Melbourne. Alright everybody, here we are at the Big Drift. We just set off on the hike. You start at an old stockyards area, which in the mid 1800s was used for cattle and sheep, and then you continue down this sand path and start your walk. 1.8 kilometers. So it looks like we're about to walk along the Wilson's Prom Park boundary here, and then we just start walking alongside farmlands to the right of us here. Good sign, lots of sand. We must be getting kind of close. There it is, folks. Look at all the people up on the hill there. The start of the sand dunes. Whoa. I'm gonna go down the bottom here and see if there's any water in these little pondy kind of things down. dried up pool. I think it's time to head back. Chloe's waiting for me at the top of the ridge there. She's all the way up there. Look at this little desert oasis in the middle of the dunes here. How cool. Oh. Time to head back and hit the road. Got about a 3.5-hour drive to Melbourne, and that will end our journey back into the greenery. All right, everybody, it's time to head to Melbourne. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit that bell button to receive notifications next time we post. I'll see you guys in the next video.